Hello and welcome to Wraggys Beer Review Channel. Yeah, I had to get that one in. So, in the Wraggys tap room, it's not cola, it's not Pepsi. This is the first review. It's just secondary fermentated, so it's just gone solid. It's a homebrew beer, obviously. 2 bags, 2 Easter brew kits brewed into 1 barrel, 1 fermentation bucket with 1 kilo of sugar. The starting fermentation, hold on a minute, let me just, fermentation calculator, fermentation cafe, fucking idiot. Yeah, accept cookies, piss off then. So the original fermentation was supposed to be somewhere around the 15%. However, it ended up at about 10%, because it didn't ferment out or whatever. So 2 lots of Easter brew, a bag of sugar, and I've already had a taster. As you can see, it's gone nice and clear. It's a lovely black colour. I've added rum and raisin essence. I got it from Brew Day Supplies in Daybrook, an amazing homebrew supply shop that will give you. And here's the thing, say with essences, you know, when you go online for essences, they can be pretty pricey. You can pay £8 for essence where you only really need £3.50's worth. And this is something homebrewers, you know, put too much essence in, you get way too much flavour. Oh, that went really loud then, didn't it? But way too much flavour, and you've wasted money. So here we go. Put it in last year's Nottingham Craft Beer Festival glass. Here it is. I've not had a snifter, I've not had a smell, a taste or anything. It's solid. It's going to need more time. The rest of it's in a barrel. I've got 3 bottles out of a barrel, and then I've got the barrel. So a little bit of a pop. So what I take from that is it's not fermented as enough as it really needs to. There's a big smell of rum and raisin coming off it though. So yeah, it needs more fermentation. You can see that, I can see that. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to tell people lies. You know, 1 week secondary fermentation, it probably needs a month before it's really ready. I'll come back to it in a month's time. And with the cookie dough mild that I've just done, I'll wait the same because I've only got 1 bottle of that. So I really want to wait until it's more optimal. I've just sealed the bottle on this, and I'll tell you now, that'll probably re-ferment itself. There's enough in the bottom. See that in the bottom, that the secondary fermentation. So if I give that a good shake, yeah, cleared it now, and it's gone solid again. And look at that. Wow, it's really gone solid. And I reckon it's a cheeky way of getting it to carry on fermenting. So there we go, black pour. Oh, it's got some kick with a rum and raisin. Oh Jesus, it's got some bloody wallop, I know. It needs to age more. The essence needs to work its way in and basically die back a bit. And this is the thing with the essence. This is good, strong essence they're using. Real top grade essence. You don't need a lot of it. Um, yeah, yeah, it needs to age. I think aging's the key. The flavour's there. The rum and raisin flavour is certainly there. There's an earthiness. Um, Secondary fermentation's not there yet. It needs more than a week. I thought it might have been a little bit early, but I wanted to, primarily, I wanted to bloody try it. So this is Wraggys Beer Festival beer #1. Um, the rum and raisin double chocolate Imperial Stout. So yeah. For those coming to my wedding vows, those that do, I had all the sent invites out, but we've not had the RSVPs back yet. So it could either be a really smashing event or there could be a fucking like 30 of us all night. In that case, oh well, there'll be a load of beer. Fuck it, eh? Um, Might just be the case that people are lazy at sending RSVPs. There's a slight splinter at the top of that grass. Yeah, I keep getting that. I'm thinking to myself, why? Why does it taste strange at the top of the glass? Yeah, definitely needs. Yeah, that will continue to secondary ferment, and I'll probably take the bottle back up to the house in the warmth and really let it and use that for my second. I'm going to give it a month this time and let it breathe out a bit, and should be interesting. Um, like I say, you never really know, do you? You experiment, and um, I mean, I know Liam from the beer community. He's paid like £8 for I think it was Black Forest or Summit Essence. Put that in a 24 litre brew, 23 litre brew, and whether this is just strong stuff that you get from the likes of Brew Day, and you know, I assumed it was for 23 litres, um, but wow, um, you may not need as much. So, um, lessons learnt with homebrew. Um, we all want big flavour. You know, if I'm brewing a stout, an imperial stout, I don't want subtle. I don't want traditional, modern traditional subtle flavours. Fuck the subtle. I want something that's a bit more in your face, a bit more stronger. But then there's the balance between strong enough and wow, that is overly essenced. And what usually happens is the longer it sits in the barrel or bottle, rather, um, that it will balance out. I do wonder when they put it into barrels how, when they do little sneaky pours of it, how that keeps the CO2 going. Because when you've got it in a plastic barrel, once you crack the barrel, you're losing that CO2. So, or does it not matter with imperial stouts? Um, if anybody from the homebrew community can diversify on that, because we're all learning, and sometimes the only way to learn is to ask the question. So, I guess on a lower ABV, that once you like a lager or a bitter, once you crack open the barrel, You've literally got 2 weeks to drink it, unless you use CO2 screwed in the top and all that business. I've actually got some of that somewhere around, although these days they tap into that and sniff the fucker, don't they? If it's the same stuff, I don't know. I don't do it. I've never known. You know, I've never done drugs in my life. Yeah, I've had the odd beer, mind you, but I've never done drugs. Never will either. You know, it's just not. It's just something that's never ever appealed to me. Not in the slightest bit appealed. No, it's funny, isn't it? You know, cigarettes. I had a chuff of a cigarette at the age of 12, and I coughed and choked on it. Never fucking touching that again. I never did. 39 years later, no, never. Is what it is, you know. It's funny how we all are, how we're built. So I'm going to carry on drinking this. Like I say, I would have, if it had been properly secondary fermented, it's going solid again now, so that's good. Mixing the bottom up with the top. And it's mixing all that together again, and it's getting it going again. And as you can see, there's a difference. That's more of a browny black. That's a proper black. The only problem with this is it's not properly secondary fermented. A week was too early. So I'm going to have to leave it. I'm going to take this bottle back up to the house. Pray to God it really does go solid again. I reckon it will anyway. And try again at the end of April. And I won't even bother with the cookie dough until the end of April. For the Wraggy Beer Festival, I'm brewing 4 beers. So I'm brewing the Rum and Raisin Double Chocolate Mild. And that Rum and Raisin, you can really smell it. It's proper in-your-face craft beer, Rum and Raisin, rather than subtle Rum and Raisin. I'm doing the Cookie Dough Chocolate Mild from Lenton Lane in Brew Day. I've got the Munton's Taproom Coffee Porter, and I've got to borrow a barrel for the Sticky Toffee Pudding Imperial Stout that I'm going to brew, possibly in the next week or so. I need to get the barrel first. And there may be a special 9-pint barley wine brew, a super raggy special. Literally love brewing's barley wine, but brewed ridiculously short. You know, to something like, I think it's only 20 litres anyway, but brewing it down to say 15 litres and bottling the bit up, and then using the rest in my pinter to distribute at the so I may even do five actual Wraggy beers, but we'll see how that goes, you know. Money on the flip side, but the Rum and Raisin's proper raw at the moment. I reckon it needs to, basically, for the sugars in the secondary fermentation to probably burn a bit of the flavour off. Yeah, it's not properly secondary fermented. It was solid, I mean, but there's way too much flavour there. The flavour profile is massive. It's really strong, Rum and Raisin. A little bit too strong. I mean, I like Rum and Raisin, but you know, there are limits. Strength side feels strong, fucking hell. But you can't tell the strength because of the flavour. The flavour really kills off the strength. It's like you're drinking the rum and raisin. It's like, what's the strength? I ain't got a fucking clue, mate. Because it's that strong rum and raisin. Can't fucking taste any strength whatsoever, and that's what it is. The chocolate's sitting well in the background. The rum and raisins well in the foreground. Um, but hey ho, it's an interesting. I consider this an experiment. Glad I gave it a few months. Literally, I got till July, so I'm going to leave the last bottle of the rum and raisin right till probably the end of June, just so I can taste it if it lasts that long. Just so I can taste it, see if it's tasting good, knowing that when it's down the shed, it'll do its own thing. The warmth in the shed at some stage will impart with it. It may impart more gases for it to. If I see it expanding, then I'll know to let the gases out because the CO2's at a crazy rate of things. I've had that before with beers where the CO2 was ridiculous. It was the Belgian cherry homebrew beer kit, and again that was absolutely stunning beer kit. I put more sugar in to the brew to get more out of the kit, and it was a kit that was crazy, fucking crazy on ABV and crazy on fermentation. Was it brew firm or something? And fucking hell, those kits were amazing. You could absolutely bump the shit out of those kits, and you're still going to get a beer that's both got the thickness, got the body, and more importantly, some fucking good ABV. And I never played around with hydrometers back in the day. Didn't give a shit. Just put the sugar in, bucket. Let's go for it. Oh. So, gotta be honest, getting used to the rum and raisin now. Bit potent at first, but I still think that it's far too raw and early. It's only literally just gone hard. Yeah, baby. That's what she said. It's just gone hard, and it needs to squeeze that tube. But anyway, yeah, it needs to develop more. It needs to age, and that's why what we now first week in April. So we've got May, June, and July. So we've got 3 months for it to burn off any excess sugar. To basically burn off sugar from the essence and leave a nice double chocolate rum and raisin stout, Imperial stout, that has got both rum and raisin chocolate and a good ABV, but without being overpowering, and a nice bit of carbonation running through as well. I may have to chill it beforehand in the fridges at work, so that on the day, I'll put into the chiller the night before, so that on the day it's all nicely chilled out and optimal temperatures and all that business. The Wraggys Beer Festival. I'll talk about the beer, then I'll talk about a bit about the beer festival. The beer itself, yeah, it's actually tasting really nice. I've got to be honest. Like I say, it's a bit heavy on the rum and raisin, but it's still tasting absolutely spot on. The ABV kicks you at the end. I'm really, really feeling that ABV. It's giving me a right proper pull your pants down, kick up the arse sort of thing. Wraggys Beer Festival is the culmination. It's our wedding renewal vows, and this year, 2023 July, the 11th, we will have been married for 25 years. Um, yeah, that's a double think then. Been married for 25 years, been together for 32 years, been boyfriend and girlfriend for 32 years. Um, that's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. We've lived so much of life together. You know, a lot of people never ever meet the person that's right for them. Or you know, a lot of people think they've met the right person, but have you really? You know, and it you know, later, you know, a year, 2 years or less, it transpires that you haven't. And sometimes a lot longer than that, you know, sometimes 20 years and it ends, which is quite sad really, because it's a long chunk of your life with someone for it to dissipate. um 32 years together this year. 32 years. um we're neither of us perfect. I'm certainly not perfect, you know. um Mental health is my massive Achilles heel. um is what it is. Really still getting the flavour from that rum and raisin. It's really raw at the moment, and the cookie dough one will be the same. It'll be too raw. It needs to calm down massively, and that's why aging it for as long as I'm aging it is a great and necessary thing. Um, but yeah, um, this year, you know, sometimes you have to celebrate the fact that one, you know, you've made a period of time. The Wraggys Beer Festival is both my part of the wedding vows. The wife has got the bulk of it. Why? Because she did not get the wedding she wanted 25 years ago. Through a lot of people sticking their oar in, telling us how to do things. Well, now her, my wife, and my daughter are doing the organising. My only part is the Raggy Beer Festival. That I'm happy about, because uh, the beer element has been a strong part of the last 5 years of my, both the channel, YouTube channel, and across social media and across the local beer industry. And you know, um, the Raggy name, and it's funny really, because the I came up with the beer review channel, and there was such a massive backlash against the Raggy name disappearing, that, you know, I've had to put it back in. Uh, can't do it so quick on bloody Facebook and TikTok because it won't let me. But the rest of it, I've already put it back in. So it's Raggy's beer review channel. It's different to the other channels. I don't want to be the same as every other Tom, Dick and Harry beer review channel out there. Not for me being horrible to them. I just don't want to be the same. You know, that's just me. I should have done it at the start. Didn't know this was going to progress into anything more than a few people watching some twat doing beer reviews. It is what it is, isn't it? Let me have another beer while I'm talking. But yeah, albeit a murky beer, because I've proper shook it up. But yeah, Wraggys beer reviews is more important to me than a lot of things, you know. Um, Beer reviewing saved me, and it cannot be underestimated in any way, shape, or form that beer and this review channel saved me from possibly, you know, possibly one committing suicide. You know, it was a terrible moment when I was at the darkest moments of my life, and I've never thought about doing that shit because it's a cheap way out, and there are ways, much better ways, to survive, and it saved me from that. And but also it as somebody who's still learning beer, who didn't know a lot about cask and keg, and I'm still learning. Um, I'm still learning the passion and that, and I think that what makes me different from many others. Many others are probably a lot more knowledgeable about certain things, and I'm not. And I don't fucking profess to be either. Don't profess to be some god who'll know it all, and I never will. You know, no. Uh, Primarily, I'm a gardener and a family man who likes to do beer reviews, and one should always remember that. But anyway, oh, massive. It needs to calm down. The rum and raisin is overly at the moment. Wow. It's like cart door ice cream, but on fucking steroids. I'm not joking. And I feel absolutely wankered. Um, it don't look like wanker juice, but fucking hell. Bollocks. And there you go. Um, yeah, fucking hell. There's going to be some very pissed up people at the Wraggys Beer Festival. Oh, you're in for a fucking treat. Yay. Cheers, man.